Hello guys, welcome back to another video with ARC Exotics. I think it's been a little while. I think the last time we uploaded was about a week and a bit ago. We try and sort of do it to at least once a week, so it's a little bit overdue, but we've got a lot to run through in this video, such as the new tank that we've got in this corner here for the line day gecko that got separated, and a few little things that I was hinting at in the previous video about Gus, the leopard tortoise, and his setup and what's changed over there. So we're just going to run through it all, talk to you guys so you know what's going on. And other than that, that is about it. So let's get into the video. So the last time you saw what we think is the suspected female out of the line day geckos, she was in this little setup here. As you can see, this is one of the smallest exoterras they do. I think it's a 20 by 20 by 30, which is quite small. Like I say, it is one of the smallest they do. And it was just a temporary setup just to keep her safe and out of trouble from the male. Since then, we've found her another tank. Obviously, everybody knows what's going on at the minute with lockdown. It's not a brand new tank. We picked it up off a marketplace, like you know, a social media site like Facebook, and now she's in this, which is identical to what we have on the other side of the room with the male in. So instead of having all of that shared, they now have it all to themselves. So this is basically a little rundown quickly on what this setup sort of has got. You know, it's just got the Arcadia, you know, I always use that. I much prefer the Arcadia. And then we've just got a few leaves, bits of log. It doesn't really need to be too secure because they're extremely light. Some of the fake Zoom Ed bamboo stuff like that. We got one of the gecko pantry ledges, which I highly recommend because they're a good size for these sort of geckos. She's got jelly and some mini mealworms. Now, she was actually tipping the mini mealworm pot over quite a lot, and we couldn't figure out how she was doing it, but we actually caught her eating yesterday. We didn't manage to get it on film, but we managed to actually see her eating, which is a really good sign. So she's definitely finding food in here. And like I say, it's a decent size for her. She's got a log there which runs across to the magnetic water bowl that we actually got with the tank and the food ledge, and it also goes to the end of a basking spot there. Now, at the minute, she is very shy. So what I've done is this is actually a normal coconut hide here. So I got some normal nails and very gently cut out a thin line going around it and stuck it to the side like one of the Exoterra stickable caves. And she's not yet to use it, but like I say, I've made sure it's all safe so she can't get herself stuck to it. But I thought it was quite a cool idea which we come up with, and it didn't really take much maintenance or much sort of, you know, care to do. It was quite a simple little mod, and she seems to enjoy it quite a bit. She sits on top of it quite a lot, but she's yet to go in it. So other than that, that is basically a rundown of her tank. You won't see her much at all because she's still very shy from all the sort of traumatic stuff she went through with the male, getting chased and stuff like that. We will go into our room, which is about 4 feet away the door, and she will run straight away. So yeah, and we've got one of the little Exoterra Nano bracket light holders and her temperature gauge just there. And both of these tanks have UVs coming, and they're the Exoterra ones as well, so they'll fit right on top. And obviously, again, as we said in previous videos, their colours come out so much more with the LED, with the UVB on as well, and they look really great. But I think from basically makeshift, this is a pretty good setup for her. And like I say, we have seen her use quite a bit of it, but at the minute she's in that right back corner. You won't be able to see it, but she's right down there in the crevice, and she definitely won't be coming out when I'm filming her like this, not for a little while. So now, shamefully, it leaves me with a spare tank. So what are you guys thinking that we could put in this tank? And we can house it under the tortoise table. So it's definitely something we can make room for, but I don't know if we're thinking something which is a bit smaller and then we'll need an upgrade in the future. Something perhaps like Amazon milk frogs, because my local pet shop has a lot of them in at the minute and they're actually in one of these setups. But like I say, it's still as good as new. It's pointless selling it for what I'd get for it, so I may as well keep it. So if you guys have got any idea what I can keep in here, maybe some sort of cool invert, if not, then let me know, because I'm open for suggestions for this. Now, it's been a little while since we have actually filmed Gus, our leopard tortoise. He is doing well, and he probably does look a little bit bigger on camera from what he used to. but he's been making the most of the hot weather that we've been having in the UK and going outside quite a lot. You would be able to see that over on my Instagram as well, ARC_exotics. He's been on there loads at the minute, enjoying the outside enclosure, just making the most of it, grazing on the stuff up there. So he's been really enjoying that. But I think since we last filmed him, a lot has changed. So we'll start with the basic noticeable difference. If you film from this point of view, you see a black line going right across. We have now lined his enclosure with pond liner, which you can see here from where he's dug out. So what we've done is we've lined it with pond liner and then put topsoil over it, which has no sort of added chemical stuff, just plain topsoil, which is absolutely fine for them, and that is what is recommended and used around the hobby for these sort of setups. And again, it's that deep, because if they want to burrow like where he slept last night here, he could just bed in a little bit. So that has changed, and instead of it being down to that sort of level, it's up to there now. And then obviously his water bowl was here, but for some reason he was just obsessed with this corner, and he was just constantly tipping over. I know he's a baby, he's still learning, but that just weren't working, so we ended up moving it here, and we changed to a water bowl for about the 5th time. We've finally changed it so he can now get in, because it's level with this. He hasn't got to have a drop, and the stones are here to support him, so when he's in, he can put his foot on them to push to get out. So I know it's not very nice, but if we actually show now him in the water, it's deep enough for him to drink. This is where he tips over and shows me up, and look, he can get out with ease. That's when he's stuck and just standing there. And there you go, you see his foot on the rock there from when he pushes away, and he can make it so much easier for him to get out now, which is what we want. So like I say, the topsoil, which is the substrate, that has changed. The pond liner has also changed because that was never in here. Another thing that I actually forgot to mention was these little holes here. He did have his house here. Well, I say house, it was just a wall there and a wall here. Like I say, we've been looking a lot of research into this, and they don't actually need that house. They won't go in there for no reason. He did go in there to sleep, but that was just because it was darker than everywhere else. So we've removed that, which makes the tank a lot bigger overall when you look at it from this point of view. And again, he didn't really need it, because if you've got the dirt to burrow in, then it's not a problem. We've added a few little accessories, just, you know, stuff like this in the ground for him to climb over, something different. We have planted, because the pots are still in here, we have planted 2 spider plants, and they're actually growing new shoots as well. As you can see from that one, he'll take a munch at them, eat a few of them, and then leave them. Give them a chance to grow back, look, and then he'll just eat them again. So they are sustaining quite well. In the last video you saw that they were on the windowsill getting ready to be planted, so they're actually doing really well here. Because it is topsoil and we have got a light, they will grow really well, so they're doing good. He's got his, I think it's just called block chalk or something, and that is basically just something that he'd graze on to get his beak down, a form of calcium as well, stuff like that. I'll be doing an outside video on him soon, because we've actually bought loads of seeds, which are especially for leopard tortoises to eat. So we've planted all of them today, so we'll see how they go and what he thinks of them. Just a little pot, you know, it's not really a humid hide, but it's humid than the rest of it, sort of thing. Yeah, you can feel it's quite sort of damp in there. And then a little bit of slate here, which we cut down because it was, all of this was slate, all of that. And he's got some plantain, which he's eating at the minute. He goes for about 2 sittings a day I'm feeding, so he's definitely putting on some weight. And we have got the chart on there as well, which shows he's gaining a lot of weight. But other than that, everything's fine. His temperatures are where they should be, 36.4, 24.7. So he's doing really well. And yeah, he's just settling in really well. He's starting to come over when you call him. He's really loving head pets at the minute. He can't get enough of them. I'll try and show you, but again, he probably won't. If I put him there. See, he lifts his head up a little bit, but you probably won't notice it too much on there. It's probably just me being silly. But other than that, yeah, quite a lot has changed. But other than that, like I say, nothing else is new. But I will be doing a full care video and care guide on this. So, you know, on this I mean the leopard tortoise. I'll be doing a full care guide on him. husbandry, how to keep him, maintenance, stuff like that. Because in the UK we've found that there's a lot of mixed opinions and mixed views on him or his species. But we have got some quite good advice, I think, from someone who's quite high up in this sort of expertise, so we do believe what they say. But again, that will be a full video in a later date. So let's move on to the next. We have the stand with 3 tanks over here. We'll start at the bottom. Not a lot has changed with the Pac-Man frog, other than he's got extremely bigger from what he used to be. We weigh him monthly, and I think he put on an extra 11 grams, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for something of his size is very, very big. It is almost double, so he's doing really well. Temperature gauge up in the corner there, LED light underneath. We have upgraded his water bowl as well, because he was sitting in it quite often, so we thought a little bit of a bigger bowl for him, he'll enjoy it. But the next thing on our list for this guy is an upgrade. I know a lot of people keep him in fish tanks. I spoke about this in the last video. So the next thing that we need to do for this guy is get a fish tank, which is a little bit longer because that doesn't quite reach the end of the unit down there. So we can bring it all the way out, and it can be a little bit wider as well. And he should enjoy that. So that is the next thing on the list for this guy. Other than that, he's absolutely munching food and being a little beast, and he absolutely loves locusts. So other than that, there's not a lot which has changed on him. Now if we go up, like I say, this is the male, well, suspected male of the lined day gecko. To be honest with you, he's normally out, but he's actually not out today. He's normally sat around there, or he's normally on his jelly pot, absolutely caning them. But no, he's not out at the minute. As you can see, he needs a little bit of a tidy up. He has got poo all down that corner, and also on his leaf. I've noticed that they tend to go in the same spot, so what he'll do is he'll hang on this log here, he'll go underneath it and then poo, and it will always end up on them leaves. But it makes it easier for me to clean, and it's right at the front of the tank as well. But other than that, like I say, even though he's been separated, he is sort of doing better in a way. He's more relaxed, he's more sort of not after something all the time and rummaging through the bottom trying to find her. So he's basking, he's just, you know, doing what they should do. Like I say, I have got an LED top coming for him as well. I said LED again, UVB top coming for him again. So they'll both have one each, which will be good. So other than that, like I say, again, he's sort of changed the least out of all of that. And then we'll go over to Rolo, our little rescue crested gecko. He's in the back corner, just chilling, minding his own business. He's got his UV on. And again, look at this. I think we can scroll back through the videos on when I've done a deep clean on him, and it was probably not even a month ago, and he has just covered the enclosure in poo. Like, all down there, all on the back there, on that bit there, just everywhere, on the leaves. So yeah, he's an extremely mucky guy, but I love him to bits. Down there, yeah, he's just covered it, but he has got one of our little merch stickers, so we'll let him off. But like I say, other than him just being an absolute mess, we haven't really got much to say on him. Temperature's bang on, connected to the classic habitat thermostat. Other than that, that's it. Now this little troublemaker was scratching at the door, and you could hear her in the background, so she decided she wants to be in the video. This is Tootie the cat, as you can obviously tell, and she's more like a dog. But yeah, she loves to play about. She's a little bit aggressive, but she's lovely. So yeah, she's just chilling on the bed. All the animals, like I say, have had their updates. Not a lot has changed. As for the sticker boards, they are now both completely full, and I think they're looking really great as well. Again, you can't really go out at the minute, but as soon as I can go out again, I'll be getting one more for here and one more for here. I've currently got quite a lot of spare stickers, which are needing to go on there. By spare, I mean they've not yet gone on, so they're not spare, but they're waiting to go on. So yeah, I've got 2 more sticker boards to add, and for them people wondering about the stickers that I've got to send my way, these little ones down here, I've currently run out of envelopes. I have messaged all the people individually and told them, but that will be in the post in due time once I can go out. So other than that, the sticker boards are looking good and everyone is happy. Now, like I say, I think that is the full update on all the animals. Like I say, we've done the female line-day gecko. For those of you wondering, she's called Candy. The male is called Kane, Candy Kane. Funny, I know. Instead of just referring to her as a female, that is Candy. Just as I sat down here to film this, I just heard her rustle, which means I just scared her, and she was out. But like I say, any little movement and she'll be gone. But I will try and get some footage of her. It tends to be when I'm sat here quietly, she'll come out. So maybe I'll try and set up a GoPro or something like that. But we've covered Candy, we've covered Gus the leopard tortoise. Like I say, I keep saying like I say, a lot has changed with him, but I will be doing a full care video on him. We've done Fredo, the Pac-Man frog, we've done Kane, the male line-day gecko, and we've done Rolo, the crested gecko. So other than that, there's nothing to update on. I have got a little bit of news as far as my ball python that I've got coming. The delivery is a little bit delayed, just loads of stuff, you know how it is. Animal couriers are sort of, you know, you've got a window and that's the only sort of window you've got. But he'll be getting delivered on the 2nd of June, which is about just over a week away, I think, something like that. Maybe a bit more actually, but yeah, it's COVID-19, who knows what the date is. Everybody's just waking up and doing the same every day. But whenever the 2nd of June is when I'm getting him. I get him in the morning, which is quite good, and I'll get his full setup as well. So I'll try and film as what I can of that, and just show you the whole setup and him. For those of you that don't know, again, it would be on my Instagram, so get over there if you're not already, ARC_exotics. It is a 66% possible heptide Candino, and it's a male as well. I think he's a CV18. So yeah, I'm looking quite forward to having him. It's been a long time coming. I think it's been about 4 or 5 weeks in the making now since I was actually looking at him. So it'd be good to finally have him at ARC Exotics. Other than that, I think I've covered everything. I hope you've enjoyed the video and stay tuned for the same one next week. Oh, and one last thing before you go. As you saw, Tootie, my cat, mullered my arm earlier. Just to show you guys, make sure you don't get a cat. Get reptiles because they might hurt you, but at least they look cool. So other than that, thank you.